Hi, everybody. Nate Lind here. I have Chris from Job Commander with us, and he's going to tell a little bit about his backstory and a little bit about what Job Commander is. And then we've got some questions about hiring, because we all know that in today's market, if you don't have a way to help and get help in your business, it is going to be a massive nightmare, especially for those of you ever considering an exit. You need to have a team on your staff, and they need to be able to transition over to the buyer. And it's absolutely critical. Probably one of, if not the most important aspect of selling businesses. Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself and Job Commander.
Absolutely. Thanks, first and foremost, Nate. Thanks for letting me join today and tell a little bit about Job Commander and our story. So, really, what we are, Job Commander is a job platform that's goal is to find the most compatible match for both job seekers and hiring managers. So, really, what we're trying to do is we're aiming to simplify the hiring process, and we're really only showing jobs that match closely to what you're looking for, as opposed to just sort of those old school traditional methods of job boards where you post a job and best of luck. A little bit about me, founder, CEO of Job Commander is something we started a couple of years ago, and really we're in the infancy stages of launching this, but we're really excited to show this to the marketplace, and we have a lot of people who are interested in being a part of this and sort of revolutionizing, changing the industry from what it's been for a long time.
Super cool. Tell me, what are some of the current traditional hiring methods and why are they outdated and ineffective?
Yeah, and 99.9% of people who have ever worked have either had to try to find a job or been trying to find someone to work for a company that they actually own. So how do people actually currently get hired? If you're lucky enough to have a network of people that you can sort of tap into, that's really, arguably the most successful way. But really, it's job fairs, it's job bulletin boards, it's going to school, career services, whether you're an alumni or a current student. So those are kind of the main ones. But the problem with that is that a lot of these job boards, they're outdated because it allows an unlimited number of applications when you're sort of applying some of these jobs. And a lot of these job boards, really what they do well at is that they're aggregators for a bunch of different job boards. So you post your resume on one job board, you can sort of get blasted to 15 to 20 different job boards. Problem with that is that, and I don't know if the listeners know this, but a hiring manager or someone who's reviewing applications, it takes about 4 to 6 seconds for them to actually make a decision on your resume. Problem with that is that I don't know about you, but 4 to 6 seconds is not a great amount of time to sort of assess an individual, right? A single sheet of paper being a resume, it's not a fair assessment on somebody, what their accomplishments are, who they are as an individual. So, and I don't know if you also know this, but a survey was done not too long ago where it showed that nearly 66% of people cited a lack of compatibility within a company that they work for, whether that was company culture, their management, or leadership, as to being one of the main reasons that they were unhappy with their current job. So when you think about this, like the job placement board industry, it made it super easy for applicants to sort of do that one-click apply and blast their resume out to a bunch of different places. But the problem is that it made it extremely difficult for hiring managers to assess the right talent for their company. And that's even beyond just the hard skills, right? You think about the soft skills, who they are as a person, what do they value? Do they actually match with the company culture, right? Whether going and they're trying to apply for it. I like to think of the first interview as sort of being like a first date. And, most everyone has been on some sort of variation of a first date. And you may come off as maybe better than you actually are, or you try to pretend to be someone you're not, because you're trying to impress the other side. And this goes for both job seekers and hiring managers. Both sides are trying to impress the other side. But if you're actually not truthful to who you are and what you're looking for, in the long run, it doesn't work. There's something that's inconsistent, and we really need to do a better job at sort of fixing that.
And what problems are employers having with ghosting in the interview process and hiring process, and how can they avoid that?
Yeah, so if you think about everything we just kind of talked about with the one-click apply and sort of blasting your resume or application out to all these different job boards, the problem with that is that someone has to review all those applications, and humanely, it's not possible to actually review 1,000 or 100 different applications for one singular job. So when you're doing that 4 to 6 second scan as a hiring manager, there is an impossibility of getting back to every single one of those people. And even if you are sort of able to, it's some sort of automated, generated, AI filtered message of, hey, we're not interested. There's no real substance to why you're not interested. And as a job seeker, we always like to say, like, I'd rather know that the answer is no, that I didn't get the job, than not know anything. So just tell me I didn't get it. Tell me why I didn't get it, because at that point, it's going to help me sort of evaluate maybe my hiring practices, or maybe I need to get a little bit more of a different skill to fit this job that I really want or to work at this company. So with our system, really what we do is that it's based on compatibility. So we take into account your hard skills, the technical expertise, where you got your education, any certifications you have, but we also take into account your soft skills, your personality trait. What are you actually looking for? And we sort of allow our employers to have this minimum threshold that only those that meet a combination of both those hard and soft skills would be allowed to apply for their positions. And the reason for that is we only want to provide the most qualified and compatible job matches for both candidates and employers. So really, we're trying to cut that ghosting issue by not having that, let's do that shotgun approach, send it to the masses and good luck. Let's really get to the root of who you are, what you're looking for, and where can we find you the right fit for you based on what you're looking for.
You kind of do a little bit what I do. Like I'm a matchmaking service too, with between buyers and sellers, and it takes a lot of work to make sure that the right people are in the seat talking to each other at the same time.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me more about what are some new technologies that are out there that are cheating the process for job seekers, and how can employers spot that and avoid that?
Yeah, so obviously everyone has heard of ChatGPT or some other AI form at this point, and a lot of candidates are smart. A lot of job seekers are very smart in using softwares. So I'll just give a couple of examples. One example being, if I know a job board or a job post, and I can see it, I could copy that, put that into ChatGPT and say, spit me out a resume that would get past some application tracking softwares. Problem with that is that it's going to spit out a resume and it may not be exactly what I am or who I am, but I will bypass some of these scanners that are all technology driven. And really all they do is they just read what they're seeing. There's nothing behind the scenes. So the problem with that is that, of course, you bypass these systems that are meant to be sort of that stopgap, but you're using other tools to sort of get by and skirt around some of these issues. That's just one issue. I mean, I can go through a few others. Another one that I kind of have seen in practice is, even if I don't go through that ChatGPT method and I sort of find a job description and I sort of create a resume from it, what I can do if I have a resume is I can actually put words on my resume that are in white font. And when they're in white font, when I upload them through some of these softwares, visually to the human eye, you won't detect it. But the computers, the software still sees that word there. So if you say financial analyst, and I've never had a financial analyst job, but I want to break into that system and I want to sort of bypass some of these stopgaps that some employers have implemented. If I put those words in white text, and I put it on my resume and I submit my resume, I will actually bypass sort of their software. That's a huge problem because again, it's cheating the system. It's cheating sort of the algorithm that some of these softwares have actually put into place to help employers. But again, candidates are super smart and they can be they can skirt around some of these issues that otherwise in the normal, the old school way you wouldn't be able to.
Interesting. That's I never would have thought of that trick. So it's got to be
Yeah.
industry trick.
Yeah, hopefully no one uses that trick. I hope I didn't start an issue there now.
Yeah. Tell us, why was Job Commander created?
Yeah, so this was definitely stemmed from a lot of experiences that either myself or some of my family or friends have kind of gone through. Really, I'm trying to build something that's aiming to simplify the process for everybody, right? I don't want to just simplify it for hiring managers. I don't want to just simplify it for job seekers. I want to simplify it for both parties so that everyone can find jobs so that one, people are happy with the work that they get. Two, they're obviously employed. And three, companies are happy with the employee that they actually have. Because happy employees really means that the company will do better, just that organizational health will continue to increase. And that's really what we're trying to solve here. And really it's stemmed from a lot of my experience of both being as a job seeker and also a hiring manager. I've gone through both sides of it. I've seen some of the trials and tribulations from both angles, and we're just trying to fix a lot of these problems, or at least alleviate a lot of these issues in the workforce today.
And where can people find you? How would they reach you?
So you can reach out to me directly on my LinkedIn, or you can go to jobcommander.com and sign up and see what your most compatible job is. Because really, aren't you curious what's out there, honestly? Because you may find something on our system that you may not have known existed.
And for the businesses and entrepreneurs out there who want to use your platform to recruit, is that the same place they can go to?
Same exact place. We have two different sort of sign up workflows. And essentially, if you're a job seeker, there's a way to sign up. And if you're a hiring manager or someone looking to hire, that we have another workflow there. So same platform, and really it's the same stuff. So
Perfect. Thank you for sharing, Chris. We're out of time today. For those of you who are watching, we've got more featured businesses coming up. Stick with us.